Hi, and welcome to this week's Powers Law Group Facebook Live, where we cover this past week's news and any recent developments that might apply to you. Today is Friday the 5th, 2019, and around the office, Attorney Ruby Powers will be in DC next week at the ALA National Day of Action, where she will be speaking to different leaders in the government about policy issues relating to immigration. Later in May, Attorney Ruby Powers will also be at the ALA Spring Conference, and in June, Attorney Powers will be speaking at the Orlando Conference as well. So that's just some few things that have been happening around the office. As far as news that we've seen this week, there's been a lot of talk about things that are happening at the border, and that the border is reaching a breaking point, a sort of crisis point, and that resources at the border are unable to handle the amount of people who are coming in. And so we're hearing things from the current administration saying that either we need more judges or there needs to be some sort of reform in the immigration court system in order to handle this influx of people at the border. As far as other advocates who are voicing in to the border crisis, several CEOs in the United States have voiced concern about closing the border, mainly because it would directly impact their businesses. It would hurt trade. Things that they have cited is that it would hurt trade, it would hurt employment, and it would hurt business in general. It could also potentially affect produce reaching grocery stores in the United States, among other things that is forecasted to happen if the border were to completely shut down. And I know, as some of you have seen this, there was a raid by the Department of Homeland Security this past month in a town in Texas called Allen. The raid focused on a company that was unlawfully employing undocumented workers, and the allegation is that that company had been doing so knowingly. So we're seeing how that plays out and what the implications are for the company on a criminal level for taking advantage of that sort of situation, and we're just waiting to see what other facts come out of that case. And then finally, I know some of you have heard that there's a new census that's coming out, and one of the big questions that people have been talking about on this new census is, will it have a question about citizenship? So at this time, it's still undecided. There's apparently two versions of the census that have been prepared, one with the citizenship question and one without. But the people who are making the census need to make a decision soon in order to distribute the census in time for the 2020 census. And one other thing that we recently heard about in immigration-related law and news is that there's a new ruling in Texas courts that finds the crime of Texas family assault equivalent to a crime of violence. So while that might not make sense, it's important because previously that crime was overcomable, and if someone was convicted of that crime, they were still allowed to adjust for future immigration benefits. However, now, since it's been categorized as a crime of violence, it's now considered a deportable offense. So if you or anyone has questions about this particular new ruling, you should reach out to your local attorneys or let us know if you have any questions. I know I jumped into the news, but as a reminder, our phone number here in Houston is 713-589-2085, and our New Jersey phone number is 201-210-8240. This week's news was pretty short, but we welcome your feedback and let us know if there's something you want us to talk about specifically next week. Okay, thank you.